Feels good to do this. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for Season 10, Episode 6 of Chicago Bears Weekly. In this episode, last week we did Draft 1.0. This week we're going to do Bears Draft 2.0. Now, I'm going to do things a little bit differently than what I did in the first mock draft, and I will explain that once I get to it. But before I do that, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and boost the algorithm. And make sure you click the subscribe button, notification bell, so you're not missing anything that I post. And just as a subtle reminder, I will be live streaming the first round of this year's draft, April 23rd, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is the start time of the stream. So you will get my reaction to picks, trades, and everything that's going to happen, and you guys can ask some questions as well. And that will be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, April 23rd, Thursday night, the first night of the NFL Draft. But let's get into this episode of Chicago Bears Weekly. Without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, so remember I said in the intro about the change? The change is last month we did an ESPN player list. This week, we're going to do a PFSN player list to see if things can possibly end up different than what we had in the first mock draft. And I like to do it this way, just to have a little fun with it, just to have kind of my thoughts with it. And then on top of that, I will be honest, I am not a draft expert. I am a diehard Chicago Bears fan, so let's just say that. Pick the Bears 7 rounds fast in the PFSN. Let's get right into it. Now, a couple of things we're going to notice as... Okay, so we get to move back a spot, and we get the 27-7 third. This is an offer I'm going to consider. We get pick 41, 72, and we got to stay in the first round, looking at who we have available. No. So I'm going to reject this offer, but honestly, you only move back one spot, and I'm assuming the Bills are moving up to take on Mark Cooper. And we get a 3rd round pick. I will accept that, and damn it, they took Peter Woods. That would have been my pick. That honestly would have been my pick. Damn. So, we're going to reject that. We're going to reject this. They took Peter Woods, and I saw the board, and that's where I wanted to go. Things like this happen in the draft. Do I want to move back? Because I see a couple of players that I think the Bears can take. Whether it be a guy like an Ichinor, but I don't think they draft off the line. Christian Miller is another one to boost the interior of the Bears. But I'm going to take an edge rusher, Zion Young, right here with this pick. Damn, Peter Woods was the guy I was looking at. And that's where I was like, okay, they're probably moving up to take on Mark Cooper. They beat me. So we move back that 20 spots. Looking at who we have on the board, I would say no right to this one. Look at who we have on the board here. I think the Texans are probably trying to move up to take the guy that I'm looking at. But we get pick 141. I think we're going to do that. And the risk paid out. The risk paid out. Because I'm looking at a couple of guys, and the one in particular didn't get taken. No, I'm not moving back anymore. So we're going to reject that. And I'm going to reject this. So we get back-to-back picks, which is lovely. I love this for us because the guy I was looking at did not get taken. And that's defensive tackle Caleb Banks. And that's exactly where I'm going. He brings the interior presence, physical presence up front, and I think the Bears absolutely need more defensive tackle depth and help, so I'm going to bring it there. Now, trading within the division, no. So, we got our edge rusher Zion Young first round. We got Caleb Banks, pick before. There's a couple of ways the Bears can go. Could they go offensive line here? Yeah. Could they go Antonio Williams, a wide receiver? Maybe. But this is my sneaky thinking. I think they go to center, Sam Hecht out of Kansas State, just in case they need some depth. And then on top of that, Bradbury becomes pricey. You get Sam Hecht in that spot. So these first couple of picks, I wish I would have did trade for Peter Woods. They beat me to it. I'll just say that. Move back 20 spots and Butter get a 4th for next year. No. 89th pick, 147th. No. So Bears got a couple of spots. Add to the receiver depth. Add safety depth, maybe draft linebacker to add to that depth. But I think at this position, I don't think the Bears go wide receiver here just yet. I personally don't think so. I think you add Jaylon Kilgore to add to that safety depth, which I think is a bigger position of need than wide receiver. You could go Golden here as a linebacker to add to that, but I think you go safety here to add to the depth of that room because the Bears lost a lot in that secondary. So I think you add a guy like that. Next is going to be the 129th pick in the 4th round. We got our edge. Could you go there? Yeah. But could you go wide receiver here? Maybe Malik Benson. We went mostly defensive side of the offensive line, but maybe this is a spot where I can see them getting running back depth and I can see them getting wide receiver depth. I think they get the running back in Kalen Black from Indiana. Get some running back depth in that room because I think at some point you're going to have to address that. Monangai and Swift, I love both of them, but you got to need more to that room. Roschon Johnson's been an injury bug, and Homer and the guys have left in free agency. So you're going to have to address that. So next, we get the 141 pick in the 5th round. Could you go corner here to address some depth there? Wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr., maybe get some depth here, or Deion Burks. I've seen more of Deion Burks, and I like what I've seen of him, so I'm going to go Deion Burks, get some wide receiver depth for this Bears wide receiving room. Even trading DJ Moore, I think it hurts a little bit of that depth spot of it. But you did get Khalif Raymond, but I still think you could use a little bit younger depth in that wide receiver room with Rome, with Luther, Khalif Raymond. So I think you go there. Next, I think this is all a position of depth. This is a position of depth. Maybe you go linebacker here. Maybe you go the Illinois quarterback, Luke Altmaier, depending on what happens with Tyson Badgett at this point. There has been trade interested, but I'm not sure where they're going to go with that. You get safety depth in Boykin. You get guard depth in Barnett. There's a ways you can go here. But me, I wouldn't go wide receiver here. I'd probably go a little bit more towards the safety depth and Boykin to help with this defense. And that concludes this part, but I'm going to do 2 runs just like I did this first run. I'm going to do 2 runs of it. Today's video was being brought to you by SeatGeek. Yes, football season is over, but you still have the NBA season. You still have baseball right around the corner, concerts, comedy shows. SeatGeek is your place to get your tickets. Now, let's just say I want to go to an upcoming Chicago Bulls game, me being from Chicago, and I'm going to go to that Bulls game. I'm going to select 2 tickets, and the green means good seats and good deals. The red means bad deals, and the tickets are graded on a scale of 1 through 10. And if you want to get your tickets to go to anything today, and make sure you click the link in the description and use code APW Sports for 10% at checkout. Once again, click the link in the description to save yourself 10% at checkout with SeatGeek. Now, let's get back to the video. All right, so let's get the second run of it going. And of course, Bears, fast, 7 rounds, and we're gonna enter. Let's see where this is gonna hit us. So, I'm looking at this. This falls right perfectly, and hell no, I'm not trading with Green Bay. And to move spots back, and I see the players available on the board now, no. So I'm going to stay where we are. So we got 3 options, in my opinion. 1, Peter Woods, and we could take Caleb Lamu, but I just believe we have to address defense. Even though Caleb Lamu will be a great spot for the Bears to tackle, I think they've done some few moves that where I think that's out the question. Peter Woods, K. McDonald, and Akeem Mesidor. Now, personally, I've seen more of K. McDonald than any of them, with me being an Ohio State fan. Bears need edge rush, but Akeem Mesidor is a little older, and I think that's why his draft stock is starting to drop a little bit. Peter Woods, really good football player, but from what I've seen of K. McDonald, I just think we have to have that big run-stopping presence in the middle of our defense, which our run defense was not good the last 2 years. So we have to address that, and I think K. McDonald was the perfect player to do just that. Now, the Bears are in a good spot here. We don't take this trade offer, and we definitely don't trade within the division to make Minnesota better, so we reject this offer. And this makes out just perfect for us, yes, again, because a guy like a Halsey, a safety from LSU could be here, Genesis Smith, safety, Sam Heck, center. But at this point, I think the center will be available later if we address that and try to go that well. But I'm taking a safety and Halsey out of LSU, and they're going to get 1 trade offer to move back. I don't think that's smart. We can get some linebacking depth because I think, in my personal opinion, that's another position of somewhat of a weakness. We have to see where TJ Edwards and Noah Sewell back from their injuries. I doubt Noah Sewell plays early. Anthony Hill Jr. could be a perfect fit for that. Sam Head could be a perfect fit as far as center depth, depending on what you're going to do with Bradbury. But I think you go Anthony Hill Jr. here to address the linebacking core. Now, our first 3 picks have been on the defensive side of the ball. And we're going to reject that. And we're going to reject this as well because it's a couple of names on the board that I'm looking at. 2 names, Zakaria Branch, Kaytron Allen. Wide receiver depth, running back depth. I think this is a draft where you're going to have to address one of the 2 because of the fact of, yes, we love Swift and we love Monangai, but at some point, this Bears running back room is thin. Then the wide receiver room, you can always use a little bit more. But in this particular situation, I am going to go Kaytron Allen to address running back depth. 3rd round pick is not that big of a risk. Maybe Swift, somebody gets down or the injury, you add more running back depth to your running back room, and I think that is a perfect route to go. Maybe you could have went Claiborne along the 4th round, but I've seen Kaytron Allen. He's a very talented running back, and if you can get him, you get a guy like him. So we look at the Bears picks now. K. McDonald, Halsey. So you just D-tackle, safety, linebacker, running back. Could this be a pick where you dress receiver? Possibly. Could you address the corner depth at this point? Maybe, depending on what happens this year with the guys like Terrell Smith coming back or Tyreek Stevenson. You could go guard, but I think this is a position that the Bears at some point are going to have to address. And you're going to have to take a wide receiver. So I'm taking Kendrick Law to help with this wide receiver room that I think at some point it needs a little bit more addressing. Now, we haven't been edge in this draft as the picks in this particular way really haven't fallen to us as far as these edge rushers go. So I think this is a point where you're probably going to get it deeper edge rushing here, or because you got 2 7th rounders. I definitely don't think you go quarterback. You definitely don't go receiver. You could go just address some center depth. I think you go Coogan here. And I think at this point you address the edge depth and you get a guy like him from Duke. So, hey, I never said I'm an expert. I never said it was going to be perfect. But at some point, some of these could act up. But, hey, this is Mock Draft 2.0 of Chicago Bears Weekly. Love you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys later. APW Sports signing out. Peace.